everybody, and welcome back to First and Last, your number one top 10 podcast.
Starting
Now.
this moment.
What does that mean, you ask? I came to listen to a show. I came to hear you guys' stupid comments about dumb shows. Well, we're doing something different this week. My name's Josh. With me, I have Joe.
Hey, man.
And Jimmy.
What's up, pasta pals?
Hey. And we're going to do the top 10 TV shows of the decade.
What are we calling this decade?
Ugh, the worst.
The worst decade?
Hashtag worst decade.
Do decades have names?
Well, as in like 80s, 90s, aughts, and then...
And today.
Teens? Like, but
Yikes.
only part of the years were teens.
The roaring 20s.
The tens.
Yeah, some preteens in there.
The teens and preteens.
The adolescents.
Top 10 preteens today on
Oh,
First and Last.
no. You cannot name it that.
Oh, well.
We'll get mixed in with some really bad searches.
Yeah, start over.
But we'll be in searches.
A lot of searches.
Yeah, I guess
Oh.
it's just the teens, right?
I don't know.
They're mostly teen
The
numbers.
tens? I feel like I've seen it. People describe it as the tens.
Okay.
Yeah.
I feel like we're
I don't-
kind of stuck in the
I
not
love
important
that.
part about what this episode's going to be.
The not aughts.
So what we did, and this is kind of what we're doing today, is me, Jimmy, and Joe separately all made a top 10 list of shows that we think were the best shows from 2010 to 2019, being the decade in which we are in currently. We're going to go through our picks 10 and up, starting at the worst to the best, the worst of the best to the best of the best.
Yeah. Should we talk about like what we kind of decided were our rules?
Our kind of criteria.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
I feel like we probably broke the criteria anyway.
Oh, I'm sure we
so
broke it a
much.
little bit. I mean, I think most of our criteria was, at least one of them essentially was, the bulk of the show for sure had to be within this decade.
Mm-hmm.
Preferably it would have been like finished.
Yeah.
But I mean, there are some shows that have gone like, I mean, I have one show that has been every single year in this
Ooh.
decade and it's not done yet.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
But so, I mean, I counted it.
Sure. Fair. I think I was able to get my top 10 all in this decade
Dang.
with a couple caveats that like,
maybe one of them started in 2008.
no, just that like, you know, a show hasn't had a season since 2017 and
Right.
we live in a world now where nothing ends. So who knows? They might do another season of that.
I
but-
do have one or two shows that are like kind of in hang up where like, dear God, I hope there's another season,
Mhm.
but it hasn't happened yet. And it's been a year or two or three.
Yeah.
Frasier. Sure.
Yeah.
I did read an article this morning about how Frasier Kelsey Grammer did a recent interview talking about how within 2020 we could have a new Frasier in development.
If Kelsey Grammer's doing it, I'm watching it. So that's all I got to say about that.
Nice.
What was kind of your criteria a little bit in trying to pick shows? Did you guys just pick shows like, I thought these were the best shows, or you try to give variety in your list, or...
Yeah, I tried to do some variety, and yeah, this is definitely this is my top 10 list. This
Yeah,
is
it's definitely
no one
favorites.
else's top 10.
There's not a whole lot of variety in my list. It's pretty much just Joe shows.
I try to do a little bit of
Breaking Bad and Breaking Bad spin-offs.
Yeah. Just Vince Gilligan list.
put the X-Files in there too.
Ooh, hey, they had a couple seasons in this decade.
The new X-Files was
Yeah, the
this
new, it
decade.
just says the parentheses new X-Files.
Mine was mostly shows that I think I loved the most, but also I definitely try to put variety. Like I try to have kind of different types of shows within my thing, and some of them I think even maybe to me are kind of like, oh man, I picked that show.
Yeah.
Which is my number 10. My number 10 might be a little like, it's probably my most divisive one.
Can't wait.
But I think I got a good defense for it.
Is it a Power Ranger?
No. It is
Whatever
not.
the current Power Rangers.
The current Power Ranger right now.
Almost all of mine are started and ended in the decade.
Okay.
A couple started before, Which then, as I started to realize that, like, looking at ones that are probably going to end soon, it's like, well, okay, like, if I'm picking shows that started before but ended in the decade, I should be fine with shows that end maybe a year or two into the next one, right?
Oh, I mean,
But I can't. But
Are
I can't
you okay
know.
with
I
that?
can't know. I can't say
Can't
the
predict the
Flash
future.
because it's the CW. It could go for 10 more seasons
If
and
they-
never die.
it'll go for as long as they'll let it go.
Yeah. Thus, is it Supernatural?
Yeah.
That's gone for 1,000 years.
It started in
It's
2005.
about to be the Simpsons of
It's the Simpsons
of
of regular TV.
Supernatural TV.
So,
The
Of science
Prestige
fiction.
Simpsons.
so speaking of Supernatural, should we start our number 10s?
Uh-oh.
It's not my number 10.
Oh, okay.
It's not my number
That's number
10.
1.
No, it's also not my number 1. Might be on my list though.
Dang.
But so yeah, we're gonna do number 10. We're all gonna say and talk about our number 10. Joe, you had an interesting thing. So I say, for example,
Breaking Bad.
the current Power Rangers,
Yeah.
and you were like, no, I have that at number 5.
Yeah.
We'll kind of wait to talk about it
Yeah.
until in detail because we're gonna
Mhm.
have enough shows to talk about. I think.
Yeah.
As we go.
It's just making sure that we pack the end with their best shows and talk about those last.
Yeah.
It's the person who has it higher then has to defend it higher.
Yeah.
Essentially, yeah. The person has a lower goes. I think you're
them's the rules.
couple up.
You don't have to say what number it is though. You could keep that suspenseful. Just say, "Oh yeah, it's
Yeah,
higher."
sure.
But you gotta do a drum roll the entire time while we're waiting, the whole time.
Yikes.
What if we all had the same exact list?
We don't.
It's going to be a short pod.
I already saw your 10. We
It's
don't.
going to be a very short podcast.
Oh yeah, I googled and they call it the 2010s. That's the most commonly used
The
name for this decade.
2010s?
The 2010s.
I'm a little disappointed in that.
That's the best we can come up with.
Well, it's hard to follow aughts.
The
It's just
aughts.
pretty legit.
Yeah, I like that. So number 10. Who wants to start?
I can start.
All right.
Nice.
My number 10 is a show we've actually done on the show. It's FX's Wilfred,
Ooh.
which aired from 2011 to 2014.
Nice.
I liked this show at least for the first season. This is again the FX show where is it Elijah Wood? Is that his name?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Elijah Wood like sees his neighbor's dog as a man in a dog suit who has an Australian accent, and they go on kooky adventures together. And I really loved the first season. The second season was okay. Third, not so
Oops.
great.
Okay.
But
so really good show.
yeah. And then there's 4 seasons total, and I haven't seen the 4th
Okay.
yet, but I am
Okay.
intrigued to go back and do it. But it was enough promise there, and like enough of an interesting thing for me to want to recognize as part of my top 10. You,
Yeah.
have you guys seen it outside of the
I
first and
saw
last?
I saw the first
No.
season
Okay.
of it, and I didn't stop it for any reason other than sometimes I just stop watching shows.
Yeah.
Like
Well, yeah, if you got to wait a whole season.
no,
then or I mean, if you got to wait a whole off season,
there was
then you.
there was at least another season available to me.
Well,
I just stopped watching it. I just do that sometimes. Sometimes I just watch stuff and then I'm just like, that was great, and then I just don't keep going.
Yeah.
Sure.
This was definitely a show that when I started, I was like, to everyone I meet, I was like, you got to check out the show Wilfred.
I had a friend who I used to work with, one of my other jobs, who also loved this show.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's the reason why I watched it, because she was like, you should watch this. It's great. And I did. And it was great. And then I stopped watching it.
Yeah, I think they just made some choices to go deeper into like the mythology later in the seasons that I was just not interested in. And
Like
that,
Wilfred being God Dog or
yeah,
something.
yeah, him being some sort of mystical
Oh,
god.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and I was just like, I don't care. I just want them to like get high and hang out.
I mean, that's pretty great. My number 10 is The Walking Dead.
Ooh.
Not on my list.
I didn't.
Also
Not on your list?
mine. No.
Oh,
I really didn't expect it to be on anybody's list, and I think the biggest reason I didn't expect it to be on anybody's list is because basically, if you say The Walking Dead like now, like, did you watch last week's Walking Dead? No one said I watched last week's Walking Dead for the past like 5 years.
yeah.
It's been a while. We
You
used to
know.
watch it like religiously after like within days of it coming
Yeah,
out.
it came out in 2010, so it's been going on literally. Started the decade off.
Yeah.
It's been on since 2010. The first couple seasons were amazing.
So
We probably watched it with a bunch of friends. Like we would watch it before something, like every Sunday. I think we would just all 4 or 5 of us would watch it together.
Yeah.
For multiple seasons, probably up to season 4 or 5, and then the group kind of started going, "This is not great anymore.
This isn't worth watching anymore."
You don't hang out with those people anymore.
And I don't see that. No. I see
just
that.
kind of
See those
dissolved
people
your friendship 'cause
very
you
often.
linked it to The Walking Dead.
We've all made a mistake.
This show's still going, right?
Yeah, and it's
Yeah.
still on. I think it's in its 10th season now.
Okay.
I think it's like the 10th season is on right now.
Did you watch this week's?
I did not. Well, so in the it started like almost in like before the age of like real Netflix as it is today.
Yeah.
Netflix was like delivering DVDs, like, you know, when it first came
Just
out.
the audio.
So we were watching it like on streaming, like AMC app or like
Yeah, like proto Netflix, just like AMC.com.
Yeah, like Gorilla Watch TV watching. And that's how we were watching it. And so now, I mean, this is how I watch a lot of my TV, but like because I don't have TV nor watch TV as it's on. So, but I still.
He says on the TV podcast.
This is why we have this, so I can watch TV. Is the whole point of the show.
Fair.
But so I watch it when it's like the next season's on Netflix. Like season 9 just came to Netflix like in September this year.
Yeah.
So I watched it
You
then.
catch up.
And I just catch up. It's like I like it still enough that I still catch up, even though I'm like, this was like this season was okay, but like it was awesome when it started, and it was like it is a good show in a way still, but it's still like a show that I've seen all of it.
The Walking Dead pinball machine is pretty fun. There's
There you go.
It's like a big fat zombie in the middle that you got to hit.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he's like a bloater.
Yeah.
I don't know what they call him.
That seems insensitive, but yeah. If one thing was a bloater,
zombie rights.
he
right,
looks like
Joe?
a bloater.
I think the show, it's got to be like way past like source material at this point, because the show came out of a graphic novel.
I don't think I knew that. I guess I should have guessed.
And yeah, right. And like there's just the characters and everything are gone.
Yeah.
I don't think there's a lot of original people left in it. I assume they died.
It's just Billy the Blue Power Ranger left.
Yeah.
Exactly. So that's
Vulcan skull.
So that's my number 10. Also Andrew Lincoln's not in the show anymore, I think. I think he left in season 9.
Is he the sheriff?
He was the sheriff.
Yeah.
So there's not a lot of original characters
Rick in it?
even left. He was
Isn't that
Rick.
his kid?
That
Rick's who's his kid?
Carl.
Carl.
Do you want to tell me what happened to Carl? I mean, do you want me to tell you what happened to Carl?
I assume he's a zombie.
He didn't make it.
Who's
that
the
far.
guy with like the slick back hair and a mustache and a leather jacket?
Norman
looks
Reedus?
I don't know. He's got like a baseball bat, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're talking about
I stopped watching
Negan.
No.
around then.
I was
Did you say
excited when
Negan?
No, Negan with an N. He was the comedian in the Watchmen movie. If that helps.
Oh, yeah.
People know who we're talking about.
Oh.
Yeah. So I was excited when he came on the show, actually, because I was like, "Oh, this guy's great."
Watchmen, the movie, not the new series on HBO, which I've heard is very good.
I love it.
Which is
nice.
my number. No, I'm just kidding. It's 3
Wait,
episodes.
before you go, my number 10 is Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
I mean, I
Also
knew
a
this was going to
show-
be on Jimmy's list.
I thought it was gonna be higher,
100%.
not on my
I
list.
really thought it was
Well,
going to be higher. Yeah.
I had here's the thing. I had taken it off, but so I kind of have it on as a technicality because it was canceled, but then
Did it just get renewed?
Fox picked
the
it
other day?
up, or was it on Fox?
It was
and then
on Fox,
NBC picked
and
it up.
NBC picked it
Yeah,
up.
okay.
And they just announced recently that they are renewed for another season.
Another season because
Yeah.
they're about to start a season as well.
What season are they about to start?
7.
Yeah, they just got renewed for 8.
Dang. And it should, because it's so good, you guys.
I've seen a few episodes. I've enjoyed
It's
it.
like great out of the gate, and I did not mean to rhyme just then. Yeah, 6 seasons so far, 143 episodes. It's just everything you want out of an Andy Samberg sitcom, like set in the workplace but it's a police station, but it's still like silly workplace banter.
And just a lot of funny comedians
It's like
on
a
it.
Lonely Island. Yeah, the cast is great.
Mm-hmm.
Joe Latriglio, or however you say it, is plays Andy Samberg's like best friend, like partner in it, and he's hilarious. It's like it's like 20 minutes of silliness and like 3 minutes of like feels, and that's exactly what I want out of an Andy Samberg show.
Yeah, fair enough. I've seen 1 or 2 episodes of that show, and I thought it was good.
Also, Terry Crews just being funny and
I'm into
and
Terry
huge.
Crews based only on his physique,
Just on
not
mass.
much. Yeah,
Just wanna
just
see
on
him.
muscle mass alone. I'm into Terry
I
Crews.
just want to see him in a uniform.
And oh, what's her name? Chelsea Peretti,
Mm-hmm.
Jordan Peele's wife, right?
Mhm.
She's a comedian. She's in it. I think she's not in it since the NBC switch over.
Oh, interesting.
But she also like had a baby somewhere. I don't think it's related to the switch necessarily.
They fired her.
Because
was
of her
pregnant.
baby.
She's
Like, no
hilarious.
babies on
She's in
NBC.
it, and she's hilarious.
NBC is strictly no moms.
No mom policy. Wait, are you a mom?
Is the TV show Moms on NBC? No,
Probably.
it's probably ABC.
My number 9 is
Which
Mom.
one is
I'm just
Young
kidding.
Sheldon on?
Moms.
I think it's the same as Big Bang and all that.
Fun. All right. Well, hey, yeah. Let's move to round 9. Round 9.
yeah. Let's
that's right.
see how
9-9.
We're gonna get to.
Brooklyn.
I kind of feel like these upper echelon tiers are gonna be probably very varied for us.
Yeah.
But I kind of feel like once we get to 5 or something, we're gonna
They'll
start.
all be
I
the
feel like we're
same.
start melding a little bit.
Okay.
So
We'll
it'll be
see.
interesting to see.
I don't think you guys have this one. My number 9 is Mr. Robot.
I have that.
Ooh, do you?
Mhm.
Higher?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so we'll wait on that then.
Yep.
So
Well, that was fun.
Yep.
Yep.
Your
Cool.
number
I
9.
have not
then?
seen that.
I guarantee you don't have my number 9, and this is where you might get mad at me.
Power Rangers.
I wrote the Chilling Adventures of Sabrina.
Excuse me?
The
The Netflix
the
Sabrina.
Netflix Sabrina. It is.
Is that over?
No, it's got 2. It's 2 seasons in. The 3rd season should be hitting at any point.
Okay.
It's just kind of like a spooky, fun teen. It's like a youth novel version of a TV. You know, like you want to just read something fun and dumb, like what's that? The Hunger Games, you know, kind of thing. Like you want to read the Hunger Games,
Divergent.
but you just want to some bullshit like that. But do you want to like watch the TV show? It's kind of like that. Like everyone knows who Sabrina is. We watched the old one.
Yeah.
Just
In Spooky Month.
Yeah, how much is it like Sabrina the Teenage Witch?
She's a witch, so that's
Is
very
Melissa
similar.
Joan Hart in it at all?
Not yet, but
Oh, too bad.
God's not dead, so I bet she's coming back at some point.
Surely alive.
So, but I just like in recent memory,
These
like I
boys.
just really enjoy that show, and it's one of the only shows I can really like think about that it's kind of new, and I'm like very excited for the whole new season to drop.
Mm-hmm.
Like I even checked while I was doing it. I was like, oh man, I hope this comes up because it's like it's youthful and campy, but also like dark at the same time. Like sometimes they do some shit, and I'm like, oh damn, couldn't do that on TV. But
Did
it's
people
still,
die and stuff?
Oh yeah, like
Oh.
there's a goat-headed devil man, like
Fun.
literally
Like he's a
Satan is a
student?
character.
Like he's a student at the high school?
No, dude, Satan doesn't go to school.
He's like the mascot of the school.
He graduated millennia ago. So
That's fun. A streaming show.
yeah, I just think it's really fun, and like it's just one of those shows, and I'm like, yeah, let's get it back on. And it came out 2018, so it is very fresh, and hopefully it'll go for a while. But I could see the show only going for 4 or 5 like seasons, so it'll have the bulk of itself probably.
Because she'll be out of high school.
yeah. I mean,
Maybe a late 20s witch.
exactly. Well, it's just called the
Not as
Chilling
fun.
Adventures of Sabrina.
Oh,
it
she's not a
doesn't
teenage witch.
specifically deem her
It's
as a
not the
teenage,
teenage
witch.
witch.
She can
Yeah.
still be chilling in her 20s.
Yeah,
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
she's still witching, and
Still be in her parents' basement.
her parents are dead. Jimmy.
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, the house doesn't die.
House
so yeah,
is not dead.
It's
So yeah,
a
that-
spooky show. They're probably still in the house.
fair enough. So yeah, that Chilling
Spiritually.
Adventures of Sabrina.
You're
number,
right.
Number 9.
Not on my
Nice.
list.
Similarly, my number 9
Sabrina
is a
Teenage
show that's not done yet, but I think the
You
bulk will
cheaters.
be in this. It's also a streaming show, more or less. The Handmaid's Tale.
I knew you were gonna
on
do that one.
Hulu,
I should have made a Jimmy
which
list.
It's on a streaming show, but it next time.
We
But
make
it
each
also
other's top
came
tens.
out comes out like 1 week which is different than Netflix. That Hulu has shows like that don't.
They actually
all
have
come-
weekly
all
shows.
drop.
They
I think that's smart.
they call that something now.
What?
Like I don't a show that comes out.
TV.
Okay, they call it TV, regular TV.
A streaming show that comes out weekly and not.
Yeah, I don't know if it's
Streaming.
specifically for streaming, but I think it kind of is. They've deviated and they said like this kind of show comes out weekly, but there's a term. I heard it a couple months ago.
Mm-hmm.
And
Disney Plus is doing that now
yeah,
with original
They do
content.
weekly stuff.
I think Amazon just drops or are their shows aired as well?
It might vary
Trying to
show
think.
to show.
might vary.
I had a lot of shows that started in this decade, but Handmaid's Tale, I thought, at least it's got a 4th season coming up. I don't see it going past that. It's also it's based on a book, so it's got finite source material.
Yeah.
And it's so good. It's just very well written and very well casted. It's oh shoot, what's her name from Mad Men? Anybody?
I don't know
Not off
her.
the
I
top
don't
of my
know her
head.
real name.
Oh, I didn't have the tab.
She's
pulled up.
she's a great actor though.
Elizabeth Moss.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's incredible. She's just you're right there with her.
Hedman's.
Handmaid's Tale. If we were making a list of like shows I have not seen but are very high up on things I know I should watch, that's definitely one of those shows.
Yeah,
Just
I've
from-
also not seen it.
yeah, but from people saying
It's tough. It's tough to watch. Oh, and Bradley Whitford is in it.
I like
Oh,
things
yeah.
that are tough to watch.
I've heard that it's a hard
stomach.
watch. It's pretty crushing, especially using other people's words with the world that we're in.
Yeah.
That it's
I
just
the
not
climate.
escapist at all. It's just oh shit, we're 2 steps away from this.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is happening to us. Australia's on fire.
So that makes me not want to watch it.
Yeah. It's also it's sort of post-apocalyptic in a way, but in a have you guys seen Children of Men?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Where it's a pregnancy is for some reason is a hard thing, and so they have captured women who they know are fertile, and so Elizabeth Moss is one of these people, and they're basically slaves, and they're basically being raped.
Ugh.
And it's terrifying, and also if you're a young mom or a pregnant mother, you would never ever want to watch this show. It's just oof.
Yeah. I could see how some people
It's a
might
drama.
enjoy it in a way that you're able to process the world we live in today through a fiction and treat it like that. But did you guys ever watch The Man in the High Castle?
No.
A couple episodes of it.
It was the Amazon show based on a book where it's what if the Nazis won the
Yeah.
World War II, whatever. So it's just America's
Franco,
just
right?
I don't think so.
No,
But
Thinking
yeah,
of something else.
it's essentially just America's run by Nazis, and for 2015 and 2016 I watched and kind of enjoyed it, and then by the turn of 2017 I'm just no, I'm fucking out on a show about Nazis.
Yeah.
Because they're in the
Nazis.
White House. No, I was kidding.
Did you guys see Jojo Rabbit? The
Yeah.
White.
I also might be out on that too.
It's actually pretty funny.
You saw it?
Yeah, I did. It's really good.
I've heard good things, but I might be out just because of Nazis.
I like shows that are
Taika
hard
Waititi.
like that,
Mhm.
and I mean I know it's somehow some of that stuff it's oh man, this is very reminiscent of essentially the things in the world that I'm trying to avoid.
Yeah.
But I can see how that kind of somehow lets you almost digest
Yeah.
what's happening in the world a little bit better,
Mm-hmm.
because
yeah.
you're oh
That's
well,
what art's supposed to do, right?
yeah. So
Good
Or
art at
something.
least.
yeah, I mean if it's done poorly and then it's like that too,
Yeah.
it's that's oof.
It's
But-
a tough line to walk.
Should
Where
we
are
go
we at?
to number
Yeah,
8?
Number
My-
8.
I don't think we've talked about this show. I'll be interested to see if it's on your guys' list or if you've seen it, but it's Number 8, The Increasingly Poor Decisions of Todd Margaret.
I've seen that show.
Yeah?
Great. I
Ooh.
forgot about that show.
Yeah, this is a late ad. I forgot about it.
What a good show, Joe.
Ran
what is
for The Increasingly Poor Decisions of Todd Margaret.
Okay.
Ran for 3 seasons between 2010 and 2016. And the short pitch is oh God, what's that guy's name?
Oh,
David Cross.
David Cross.
David Cross.
Oh my gosh.
It's a
and
David
Will
Cross
Arnett.
vehicle, and he's this like down on his luck dude. He's just a David Cross character.
Yeah, which is all you want.
Yeah, and he goes to England to like try to sell this like energy drink because he just like lied his way into this job. And it's like built like a sitcom where he just gets into trouble because he lies about like things that he's doing. But instead of like a normal sitcom where at the end he confesses the truth and learns a lesson, he just keeps lying even more. And like shit just goes even more haywire episode by episode.
Yeah, if he thinks he
Fantastic.
can like get away with it and like it'll improve his like system,
Yeah.
he'll just say I do that or yes or like he'll just lie. Also, the energy drink's called Thunder Muscle.
Yeah, Thunder Muscle.
Oh, Thunder Muscle.
Wait, what? That got you?
I know. For some reason, I know that.
It's just great as like an anti like sitcom. It's kind of structured like a British show in that it's only 3 seasons and 6 episodes each. And
It's like a Ricky Gervais show.
yeah, and like not really a spoiler, but like the show literally ends in nuclear war. Like it ends in the worst way possible because of the decisions that this guy made. So
Makes sense.
It's a good show.
It's perfect.
It's very David Cross, and also it does kind of feel like a British comedy.
it's very David Cross. I could see how that could like turn people off and not make them want to watch it.
As a Arrested Development lover,
Yeah.
like it's not the same show by any means for anyone like thinking about that, but it's just like more. It's just like if Tobias Funke was just a person who knew what he was doing and also wanted to lie all the time.
Yeah. And like Will Arnett's in it for a little bit, and
Yeah,
he essentially plays like a more profane version of Job.
Yeah, he's very Job, but he's just here and there. He's not like part of the real show. Essentially,
How many seasons is this?
3 seasons, 6 episodes each.
It has a weird. So there's a big jump.
Yeah, the
Got a
years are
weird
spread out.
timeline.
It's 2010, 2012, and then 2016.
So I think
Yeah.
I watched 2010 the first season, and then since it took so long to get to season 2, I forgot that the show existed, which is the risk they take, I
Ooh,
guess.
there's
I think
an
that's-
unaired pilot.
I think that's how I found the 2016 season, where I was just like, hey, what was that David Cross show? I'll go watch that again. It was only 6 episodes, and then I saw there's a new season. I was like, okay.
I probably thought about that in 2015 in the wrong year, and
Yeah.
I missed it. So all right,
I gotta check that out.
It's real fun if you're into that kind of shit.
another.
What was
bleak.
his?
It is
what was
bleak.
Dave Cross's? Mr. Show.
Oh yeah,
You ever see it? Yeah. Anyway, what did you have a number 8?
yeah. I made a number 8.
Oh,
Actually,
good.
skip number
I
8.
skipped it. My number 8. I'll pay each one of you $5 if you have the show
Okay.
on your list.
Please be flash.
Nathan for You.
No.
No.
I did see that on some lists though, and I was like, that's like I bet that'll show up on someone's
Yeah,
list.
never heard of that.
Oh really?
What?
No.
You know Tom Green?
Yeah.
You ever heard of Tom Green before, Jimmy?
Yeah. From my youth.
Yeah, from yours.
Sure.
This show was reminiscent to me while watching it. It didn't run for very long.
Yeah, what are the years on this?
I got the years in this piece of paper that I have right here. 2013 to 2017.
Cool.
And I think it had gaps for sure in between. Nathan for You was essentially Nathan Fielder was the main guy. And he would go around, quote unquote, helping local businesses. Like there was a laundromat that wasn't getting enough business, so he would create like a scheme to get him to go. So he'd like make it so like in the back of the laundromat there was like a strip club or something like that.
Something that like clearly like is not a good business decision.
Yeah,
but-
yeah. He would do crazy stuff like that. So in like the kind of the Tom Green vein, he would just kind of basically the whole thing's like a prank and it's just outlandish and crazy. So it's very like real, and the whole time you're watching it, you're like, is this real?
Yeah.
Could this possibly be real? Like, and then you think Middle America exists, and you're like, it probably is real.
Yeah, it probably lives somewhere in the in between of like kind of real, kind of not.
There was like one where I think it was an electronics company that like basically, you know, like a TV shop, and they had like a huge clearance sale that like a 60-inch TV was like $1, but the stipulation was you had to like get to it, and they put it in a tiny room with a live alligator in it, and like a doggy door that you had to like crawl through to get to it. So like people would come into the store to like use the coupon for like the TV, and then they would be like, well, I'm not gonna do that. I'm not going in there because there's an alligator. So you would do stuff like that.
Yeah, I remember seeing a story once of like there was like in like LA somewhere there was like a shittier version of Starbucks or something that had opened up, and people weren't sure what this was because it was clearly like a Starbucks parody. But yeah, it turned out to be a Nathan For You episode.
That was an episode. Yeah. So it's just funny. Yeah, it was for me, it was very reminiscent of the Tom Green days, and I remember loving Tom Green growing up, and it was funny. And I watched all these shows, and I just loved
What
this
kind
show.
of stuff was his bum on in this show?
Oh, well, alligators, TVs. So that's my number 8.
Okay.
All right,
Did I say one? No.
you're an 8.
My number 8 is a little show called Sons of Anarchy.
Oh.
It's a show about
Wasn't into it.
motorcycle gang in like somewhere.
Well, my number 7 is Mayans.
Oh,
I'm just kidding.
So good at a spin-off like 10 years later.
When did this run?
5 years later. 08 to 14. 2014.
Majority
7
was in the
seasons,
decade.
92 episodes. It won a Golden Globe or something.
Joe's won a Golden Globe.
Have you?
What? Yeah, for editing.
This podcast.
You don't edit this podcast.
So it's a biker show.
So kinda.
Sell it to me.
Okay. So
I've watched it. Sell it to me.
it's more of a. It's got this. It's got a like. It's one of those shows / like shows or movies that has like a Shakespearean like thing going on, set it in some sort of weird modern context, like there's like weird family dynamics, and it's kind of like a Hamlet or / The Lion King,
Yeah,
if you want.
Yeah, you ever seen Romeo and Juliet starring Leonardo DiCaprio?
Yeah.
It's like that, but with motorcycles.
Yeah, exactly.
Vroom, I'm in.
And they're like,
it's not.
Is Claire Danes still in it?
Yeah, Claire Danes is actually just in this show.
Katie Segal is in it.
The mom from Married with Children.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, there's a lot of and Charlie Hunnam, who was just in the blockbuster of Arthur. Was that King Arthur movie?
Oh, yeah. They tried to like make him an action
that
star.
just bombed hard.
Okay.
I'd probably still watch it.
Why do you like this show, Jimmy?
It's great.
You're
it's
not
hard,
selling it to me right now.
It's hard to explain. I watched every episode. I watched all seasons. It became a little bit of a chore by the end. There's just a lot of great dynamics. There's a lot of great character development. It's like following this dude, and he's like figuring out. He's kind of starting to take over this biker gang that was like his dad was a leader of, and they were just like, they're a biker club, not a gang, but really they also actually do a lot of illegal activity to like fund the club. They're like selling guns.
Jimmy's defending the gang more than he's defending the show right now. I think I saw the first season or 2 of it, and it was like pretty good.
Yeah.
But like it didn't have the tail to like keep me going kind of thing. I was kind of like, this is what it is. It was just like, yeah, there's a biker gang, and they're like they got honor and bullshit. But there's
they're
also
lovable bad guys.
there's also other biker gangs, and they're just bad. Essentially,
Okay, they have no code.
they're bad.
Not
They're not necessarily, but they're just bad because you're like rooting for this biker gang.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like you just kind of see them. Sometimes they do their trades and their deals and their sketchy shit, and sometimes they're like family's important, and they ride bikes and they shoot people sometimes, and
important.
then the inner turmoil. It's very suspenseful.
It kind of
dramatic.
sounds like a pulpy premise, but then maybe done better than it needed to be. Like production value is a little bit better than it needed to be.
Production value is very high.
Yeah.
Very high. It looks good.
That's my impression of the show from
good.
things I've heard about it.
There's some good characters. There's some good drama. Some characters that you love to hate, which is always good in a drama. What's his name? Hellboy. Ron Perlman.
Hellboy
is like a head of the thing you love to hate. Head of the biker gang.
Mm-hmm.
The Sons.
So Jimmy
It's
likes
got some
this
good
show.
lore. It's got some good lore to it. They also spent like a season or two in Ireland because there's like an Irish chapter because
they lost their direction and didn't know where to go.
And some of that's kind of cool.
Well, I'm sold.
I hate you guys.
I just bought a motorcycle on Amazon. So
Joe just opened another incognito tab on his computer and bought a motorcycle.
Leave me and my incognito tabs alone.
Fine.
I liked what I saw of it, Jimmy.
Jimmy Smits is in it.
It threw me.
Bail Organa.
Yeah.
I would say that show lost me hard, and I didn't stop watching that show because I liked it, and I just stopped watching it. I watched it, and I stopped because I was like, this is just now going to be the same and not going to get better.
You decided you would carry on living your life.
And you may not have been wrong.
Yeah.
Also,
but
Mitch Pileggi from X-Files, who's
hell yeah.
Yeah. He's pretty great in it, but he plays a white supremacist Nazi guy.
Good role. Joe, let's move on to number 7.
Getting up there, number 7. My number 7 is Master of None.
Ooh.
I didn't connect with that show at all.
Okay.
I really liked that show, but felt morally. I still don't know where I fall on Aziz right now. So do we like him now? Do we not?
Are we gonna address it? We'll address it.
Are we gonna? Okay.
Master of None ran for 2 seasons. It's a Netflix show.
It was good. I liked the show.
It made me feel feelings.
But I mean,
which is always nice.
You can sell it on us too. But and I think you have a lot of good connections to the show.
Sure.
So I even thought it would be higher for you, to be honest.
What does that mean?
Mm-hmm.
What do you mean by that?
well, Joe, why? So Joe,
are you calling me a predator?
Joe, you really identified exclusively with Aziz and the things he's done. No, but
whoa.
Sell Jimmy
Joe,
on the show.
Sell us.
I
liked it.
Oh, okay, you watched it too.
Yeah, have you seen?
I love it. I'm telling you, I just
didn't make
don't
list.
know.
Oh, okay.
If we're there yet.
I guess, yeah. I mean, for me, there's only 2 seasons of it. I love the first season and didn't like the second season so much. So it's really just up this high based on the first season and probably down this low based on the second season.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
But I think just if I were to sell this to someone, I think that it's not for everyone. So I think it's I could see how it didn't connect for you because it is just a very specific vision. And I think that's kind of the selling point is this is a show that only Aziz Ansari could have made and maybe, some other people, but it's a very specific vision of a guy who is of this age, lives in New York. It's a very New York show and has had these experiences. And it's very specific and some of those things maybe you connect to and some of those things maybe you don't, but you at least respect it for this is a show that this person wanted to make and they got to do it with that Netflix money.
Yeah, I would say it's one of those shows that I watched it and it didn't like connect with me.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I mean, it didn't connect with me in like my life path and just how like things have gone kind of thing. And it's very like almost like a personal show kind of in a way.
Yeah, it's very
definitely very
personal.
personal for him.
Sure.
And so I was just like, I just don't relate to the things that are happening to you in the show because none of these things have ever happened to me, nor probably will ever happen to me. But so with that, I mean, it's like I liked the show.
Yeah.
Like I was like, oh, this is good because it's nice to see these things that I wouldn't normally be like hit because these are real life things, not like motorcycle people shooting people. Like obviously I'm not going to be involved in that either.
Yeah.
But that's like high fantasy this is like a real life show where I'm like, oh yeah, this is a look into like maybe this person's life. But when it comes to that, it's like that wasn't like entertaining to me.
How do you feel about his stand-up?
I think it's hilarious.
Okay.
Did you see his recent one?
And I was fine with it. I liked it.
All right.
Yeah.
Cool.
I mean,
Had a different vibe.
I'm definitely
it
the
defi-
audience.
it-
for-
no, it
had a
def-
post-Predator vibe.
no, here's the deal. It definitely had a different vibe, and I don't begrudge anybody for not liking somebody, especially based on some things that they may or may they have done in their real life. But I also kind of think in the terms of like if we did that to everybody, then like no one would listen to Michael Jackson anymore. Like, and that's not fucking happening. Like people
I don't listen to Michael Jackson anymore.
But I'm saying like, but like, you know what I'm saying? But like, that's but there's some people that are like, I love Michael Jackson no matter what.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, and it's not because they like what he did or did not do.
Sure. I think it's,
allegedly.
it's for each person to decide.
It's
for Jimmy to say, I don't know how I feel about this because I just don't know how I feel about this. I think that's very fair.
Yeah, I think it's very.
Thank you, Joe.
No. I'm just saying.
Get on board, Josh.
I think there's some things that like some people can separate like art from the person. And some people just absolutely cannot separate art from the person.
Yeah.
Like a Michael Jackson song isn't the thing that isn't what he did.
Isn't what did
the kids,
you know,
like or whatever. Like that the song isn't a thing, and so kind of thing. I mean, we live in Minnesota. If we find out that like Prince did some Michael Jackson shit later on, do you think that's gonna like make people in Minnesota stop listening?
We would stop being a state.
The minute will just dissolve.
Yeah.
But someone that
we will all move to the tri-state.
But someone that says like, oh, he got like, you know, this happened or he did this. I'm just not on board on anything they do anymore. Totally viable.
Yeah.
But there is like some people can just separate the artist from that.
I generally do, but it does depend case to case.
Yeah. I mean, I definitely do it sometimes or whatever. That has really nothing to do with the show, technically, but it does at the same time.
It's if the only thing I could say about it is it's just a very singular vision. If you're at all interested in his comedy, I'd advise you to check it out if you haven't already.
Hilarious.
Or if you're just like 30 years old and like, you know, still single or not married.
Love and
like,
loss.
Yeah. Check it out.
If you've at all listened to Dashboard Confessional and are in your 30s and like Aziz's comedy, also his parents play his parents.
Yeah.
And it's those scenes alone are worth watching.
Pretty good.
Very genuine.
What do we do? Number 7?
Yes.
My number 7 was Game of Thrones.
Oh, wow. Yeah, higher for me.
Okay.
For sure.
Okay, I figured.
Moving on.
I figured Joe didn't have it.
I don't
but
have
Jimmy
it.
probably had it. Okay. Keep going. What's yours?
7. My 7 is 30 Rock.
Higher.
Okay.
Didn't have it.
Okay. So number 6 then?
Russian to 6.
Yeah. My number 6 is which maybe might not have come up for you guys because you don't think of it as like an episodic show, but
higher. Black Mirror's higher for me.
No, I have Key and Peele at number 6.
Ooh, I got it higher.
Ooh, all right. Okay.
I don't. I'll be honest. I saw their like things on YouTube, but I never watched the show.
Yeah,
I got it higher.
got higher. Moving on.
Stop talking.
Sorry.
What are we on 6?
Number 6.
6.
Okay, well, if we're gonna bring it back around, number 6 for me, Joe, is Mr. Robot.
Okay, there we go. Mr. Robot.
Oh, okay. Let's talk about it. I don't know this show at all, but I saw it on lots of lists while I was doing my research, trying to think about if I had forgotten anything.
Yeah.
Or not.
Josh, what have you seen of this? I saw the first season and loved it, and that's what merited the number 9 spot for me. Season 2 didn't love so much, and then didn't follow up on season 3.
And season 4 is coming out.
Yeah, and that'll be the final season.
Yep. And that's the final season. Is that gonna come out this year?
Yeah. Mhm.
Okay. I've seen 1 and 2, and like a tiny bit of 3. Once again, I stopped watching it because I just stopped, not because of any real reason, just because I'm bad at media.
Yeah.
Clearly.
I liked season 2 less than I liked season 1.
Yeah.
But I still thought it was good because it really added to like essentially like the zeitgeist of the show.
Sure. Mm-hmm.
And like what the fuck is going on? Because I feel like the first couple episodes you're like, I do not understand what's happening. And that kind of like shows that really confused me, but to a point.
Yeah. I guess for Jimmy, like, do you know anything about this show?
No, I don't know what we're talking about at all.
I remember seeing.
Wait, who's 6? This is number 6, right?
Number 6.
Yeah.
Whose is this?
Well, it's mine. It was
yours,
my number
and
6.
it
It was
was
Joe's number
Joe's
9.
Number 9.
Number
Yeah.
9. Okay.
I remember seeing the ads for Mr. Robot and thinking that like this show was about a clone or something because he's called Mr.
Yeah.
Robot.
Yeah, it's Rami Malek, the guy who played Freddie Mercury in the Queen movie.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Wow. Okay. Yeah.
But yeah, he's essentially a hacker.
Mhm.
And it's
Nice.
just about this
Is
dude.
Angelina Jolie in this show.
No, but
There is a white girl in this show.
it's a show about a hacker and things get real and the government gets involved and it's conspiracies all the way to the top and
It almost has like it's not really, but it almost has like a V for Vendetta vibe.
Yeah.
a little bit. I mean, they have like there's masks that are involved
Yeah.
too. Are they Guy
Christian
Fawkes masks?
Slater.
no, that's a like made up character.
Okay.
Yeah.
I,
Do you know what
just
this
trying to-
was aired on?
USA.
Oh, okay. That's
Yeah.
why I have no
which
idea.
is
what
also
this
very.
is.
It's just surprising. It was a good show on like USA.
Yeah,
What
this
was
is-
the last time? When was the last time USA had a good show?
Pretty much never. This is their like flagship. Like
pretty
they
much never.
like threw the dice on this
Sunk it all into this.
and like critics loved it and they're just like, holy shit, like this is a hit.
Yeah.
hey guys, you get to keep your jobs.
Yeah.
We got a good one.
It was originally pitched as I forget the name of the creator, but he had this idea for like a movie with this premise. And season 1 is essentially like the first half of that movie. And then it felt like in season 2 they like pumped the brakes a little bit. But
okay.
But yeah, really good show. If you're into, computers, I guess.
It's like, are you like
Wow, selling it hard.
are you into computers, maybe hacking, kind of like fighting the power
Intrigue.
and like kind of getting rid of the status quo,
Yeah.
kind of like not like a spy espionage by any means, but just kind of like we're fighting the power in
I
this
think
like
that
very
is what espionage is now.
Okay.
Very
It's just
suspenseful
hackers.
and like conspiracy type stuff.
Yeah, if you like conspiracy and you kind of want to watch it and somewhat not know what's happening for most of the time, like getting tidbits and stuff and kind of getting
Yeah.
like fed a little bit as you go, trying to solve the mystery.
Mm-hmm.
Where if you want a show where like you can watch 4 episodes and you go, I think I know what's going on, and then 3 more go by and you're like, I don't fucking know what's going on. Like, that's kind of what this show is.
Yeah, it does sound great. What are you y'all watching this on?
The computer.
Yeah, I feel
Internet.com?
like I watched it at, like literally USA.com for a
Okay.
while.
Yeah.
And then I think it was on Amazon.
It was on something for at least a
Okay,
little bit. I
okay,
don't know if it's
okay,
on
okay.
what it's on now.
I think currently 1 through 3 are on Amazon.
Okay.
That sounds right to me.
Yeah.
Sweet.
So
And how many seasons?
there's 3 now. 4th one is coming out this year.
And that's gonna
It's the
be
final
That's
season.
the final season.
Okay.
Mhm.
So,
Right on.
so that's it, Mr. Robot.
Okay, so my 6 is Community.
Oh, higher, yeah.
Mine is lower. Mine is at 6. I couldn't bring myself to put it higher just because of the like season without
Dan Harmon.
Dan Harmon.
Yeah. Okay.
Fair enough.
But I'll say
Um,
more later.
But we'll,
Yeah.
we'll talk about that later. Hey, let's take a break.
Ooh, we
just
got
for us,
halfway
like-
through.
Play the theme song.
I want to pee and I want to get a drink.
Yeah, I want to
Hey,
drink too.
refuel.
And it's 7:46, so maybe we should
Listeners
start
at home,
talking about food.
get
Okay.
a new drink.
I'm not talking to the roasters. I'm just talking to us right now.
Get a drink and get a burrito, listeners. Unless you're driving.
Then get 2 drinks. All right, everybody. Thank you for listening to part 1 of our best of the decade for 2010 to 2019. Tune in next week for 5 through 1 and see what shows won. All right, we'll see you then. Goodbye.